Welcome to EliteYoga. I'm your instructor, Clare. I have been trained in yoga and in Pilates in both original methods. And I really think as cyclists go, that today we are going to do a little combination of what I have found to be very essential Pilates combined with very essential stretches. So that I go in more depth with this in our subscription program, but so today we're going to touch on it. And it might seem a little bit hard at first, but it's just about practicing. It's just about practicing, like anything. If I were on a bike now and did the hills you did, I wouldn't be as fit as you at doing that. So it's just a matter of time. So everything's, but these are very essential things that you need to know just for your health. To balance out your hips, your lower back, your knees, your ankles, your shoulders, it's crucial. So when if your muscles become too tight and they impinge on nerves, then it's simply just about essential stretches to basically pull that apart so it's not pressing on a nerve. But the other thing that can happen is a weakness or an imbalance where you might have had a disc a long time ago or an injury or something and you didn't balance your muscles properly, especially if you weren't trained in something like Pilates or yoga originally. Okay, so things have been watered down over time. Okay, so let's begin. My personal background is I was a professional dancer. I danced for 10 years in New York and 5 years in Switzerland. Okay, so let's go. We are going to start on your back and we're going to bend up your knees and we're going to roll your hips towards your ribs until you feel your lower back flatten into the mat. Now I want you to draw in the muscles from the tail all the way to the navel. So this whole pelvic floor and lower abdominal region pulls in and up. That's its action. In and up towards the diaphragm. Then we are going to place your head in your hands and you're going to nod your chin. So whenever you do a flexion of the spine, you're going to nod your chin so the crown of the head comes first and then you roll through your neck and then through your upper back. So this is a familiar looking crunch situation, and then you're going to roll back down in that reverse order, and lastly is the head. So keep your lower back in imprint, nod your chin, and you're going to round up, and you're going to pull in all the way from the tail to the sternum now, and rolling back down. And rolling up, pulling in and up from the tail to the sternum, and rolling back down through your upper back, and lastly the head. So remember the chin nods down first, and chin nod in Pilates, rolling up and rolling back down. Now squeeze the tops of your legs together and rolling up. So your inner thigh muscles are engaged and the very top one's the most important. Rolling back down for your pelvis and lower back. And now squeeze as if you had your hands on your hips and you're compressing in the hip, contracting the hips. Rolling back down, that engages your glute med and your other abductors equally. Rolling up and rolling back down. Now keep your imprint. You're going to lift both feet up off the floor. If this is too hard for you, keep your feet down and continue with what you're doing. You're going to roll up and you're going to hold that there. You're going to stretch your right leg forward and then your left. Right, open your toes. Tail to sternum, come up all the way to the sternum and open your shoulders, reach your foot and stretch, pull up your kneecap and stretch and stretch, 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 stretch and stretch. Turn your sternum to the left and to the right. Left, keep contracting your hips and your inner thighs, stretch and reach. Knees point up and stretch, stretch. Reach your big toe forward, stretch stretch, and stretch. Place your feet back down. Pelvis now relaxes to neutral. And you're going to stretch your right leg down, picking up your left knee to a tabletop position. Left arm out to the side. Right arm on the hand on the outside of your left knee. And rotate your pelvis to the right. Keeping from the tail to the navel, drawing in up those muscles that we've just woken up. So that region in yoga is termed the Mula Bandha, the root lock in the body. And so you don't breathe there because you're engaging it in and up. And then the breath is pushed higher and into the diaphragm where your lungs are. Your lungs sit mainly at the back of the rib cage, the thoracic cavity. Now notice we said thoracic cavity, thoracic spine. So the thoracic cavity, you can imagine that the way you breathe really directly affects your upper spine, your thoracic spine. Okay, come on back using your Mula Bandha. Placing your feet down, neutral spine, cross your right foot above your left knee, and pressing the right knee forward. Keeping your pelvis neutral so you're not twisting the pelvis, just you're rotating that right hip out. Open your shoulders, lift Mula Bandha, lift up your left foot. If this hurts your knee at all, you can stay with what we're just doing, the simpler version. So, left knee coming in, pelvis staying down, right knee pressing forward gently. Keeping your Mula Bandha because that is training your physiology, training your nervous system. It's all about posture. And place your left foot down and arms out to the side, turning to the left. So, if you're doing this, you've probably realised that sports have great benefits to them. But if you want to feel fantastic and have full vitality and health, you've got to learn exercises and stretches that make sure that your sport isn't pulling your posture out of balance. It could be for other reasons too. You can be born with a little what we call deformity, meaning, something that's not perfect in your body. Come on back, athletically, foot down, press your left foot above your knee. Okay, when you have children, things happen during birth or during pregnancy, then you've just got to bring your body back into balance. Yoga is that science of doing that. Lift up your right foot off the floor. So, with both yoga and Pilates have incredible benefits to them. I've been doing Pilates for, over 30 years of Pilates for about 25. And, or longer than that, 27 or something. Very young, but the Pilates is fantastic for these fine muscles, getting them engaged again. Placing your foot down, arms out to the side, and turning your pelvis to the right. But you won't get full freedom in your body unless you practice yoga. You're still limited in range. So both those things are essential, and yoga assumes a lot of knowledge already. Like you know how to activate Mula Bandha, for example, and Pilates breaks a little bit down, and that is really important. So both of them have, it's really important to understand the muscles coming back. Okay, foot down, stretching your legs down. We're going to do Pilates Roll Up. Have your legs tight together. Remember squeezing in the top, and as if you had your hand on your hips, you're squeezing in there. Okay, toes pointing up, shoulders wide and blades down, so your arms are a bit off the floor. Lift the arms up to the ceiling, opening your shoulders to the ends of the collarbones. Lower your hand, nod your chin like we did before with the sit-up. Come to the sternum, and then keep pulling in. And you're not going to come all the way to sitting. You're going to keep what we call a Pilates C pose. You're going to scoop in and up from the tail to the sternum. And then you're going to pull in to start rolling back, placing your pelvis, your lower back, your mid back, upper back, lastly the head on the floor. Lifting your arms up, open your shoulders wide, and nod your chin, rounding up. Pulling in to roll up. And so you're rolling through the center of your spine with awareness. Don't think it's going to happen naturally. Tuck your tail, pelvis, lower back, mid back. So it requires your alert attention to do this. Lifting your arms up, opening your shoulders, look at your hands, are they equal? Make them the same. Nod your chin, round your back, breathe out and pull yourself up using your abdominals, tail to sternum. Rounding your back, so we're flexing your spine, and tuck your tail to start rolling back. Keep the tops of the legs squeezing, the outside hips, rolling, curving all the way, curving on the way down as well will get you that flexion in your spine. So this is about mobility. The more you pull in here, the more you are creating flexibility in flexion, rounding of your upper back and your spine. Flexing is curving your spine in this rounding manner. Okay, and lastly, the head, top of the head comes first, nod your chin. Now keeping it the same. Pull in to roll up. And start to roll back. Tucking under. Rolling all the way back down to your upper back, lastly your head. One more. Keep your arms up. Roll your arms, nod your chin, lift your head. Breathe out and pull in to roll up. No tension in the shoulders, it's all in your abdominals and in your hips engaging. And to roll back. Roll one vertebra at a time. Okay, taking your strap now, and so that's called the Pilates Roll Up. Now I'm going to put the right foot in the strap, and you're going to keep your sit bones stretching down to the front of the mat. Open your toes, reaching your big toe a bit more forward than the other toes. Open your shoulders. So you're pressing your foot into the strap. Engaging your left glute. So in yoga, when we pull in all the way from the tail to the sternum, this is termed Uddiyana Bandha. And you use that for flexing your spine, and like we were just doing, you use it for planks and push-ups, you use it for arm balances. You might want to use it if you ride as fast as you can, and take the strap in the right hand, rotating your leg out to the side. It is that where your power comes initially in the body, and the most power starting there for exertion. You would pull in hard if you wanted to sprint, like running. But you wouldn't walk around using Uddiyana Bandha all the time. And some people do. Bondi. Come on back. And then you're going to lower your leg, turn the leg in, take it across. Actually, you don't push out. You pull in. So that's the thing. So this is stretching all the way down the outside of your hip and down the outside of your knee and the outside of your foot. and coming back. So we've just done the back of the leg. The back of the leg, the inside of the leg, and the outside of the leg. Now we're going to do that to the left side. So sit bones down to the front of the mat, spread your toes, engage your right glutes with the right knee pointing up. And so as you stretch down the sit bones to the front of the mat, crown of the head lengthens up, open your toes, reaching that left big toe away. So you can feel like you're elastic muscles here. Take the strap in the left hand and rotating the left leg out to the side. More bundles engaged, pulling your pelvis still. Sit bones still stretched down to the front of the mat. This energy and awareness. Energy through awareness. Okay, so feeling of pulling your sit bones down and lengthening up through the head and out with your foot. You can feel that with the strap. You can feel your awareness moving into your big toe and into the strap. And you're able to then, over time, put that awareness into every part of your body. Coming back, lower the leg a bit more, turn the leg in, take it across. So if you've done this a few times now, there are a couple of ways to improve yourself all the time. And one, as you know, is doing something that's more complex, or going faster, or reducing the time that you're, like for example, a higher cadence overall. That's going to improve your performance, but you can also improve your performance and through awareness, so having great control of your whole body doing whatever you're doing, coming back. And that's really cultivated when you do something slow and very precise like yoga. It starts to come in. For example, you might decide to open your toes more in your shoe, and then you can pull up your hamstrings without cramping. You'll just be able to access your hamstring. You might decide to like relax a bit more in your quads and engage more of your hamstring by opening your toes, pull out the big toe more and your heel, just sensing the inner and outer heel in your shoe. That's what I mean by greater awareness. Come to your left side, and we're going to push your right knee just a bit forward. Actually, if you have the block, you can just put your knee gently on the block. So you've got your right knee forward, your sit bones stretched down to the front of the mat, and you can lie down and we can, this left leg is going to lift up, and 2, without twisting the leg, and 4, and lift, and 6, and 7, and 8. Now focus on these muscles that are lifting. 10, these are your inner thighs. 12 of your left leg. There's 5, 15, and 16. And we're doing this a very neutral range of motion. You need to know this exercise. 20. Relax. Breathe in. Breathing out. 7, 7, 20. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Try and engage your glutes. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then you're going to put that right leg on top of your left. We're going to flex this left foot for the moment. And you're going to point the right foot, the top foot. And then you're going to lift your leg to the side of the hip. 2 and 3. Keeping your knee and ankle pointing forward. Your shoulders stay wide. 6, 7, 8. Reach your big toe. 10. Open your toes. 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15. The muscles that are doing this are your abductor muscles. The glute med is the 19 and 20. The glute med is the primary abductor. And again, 1, 2, 3. So it pulls in. Feel how those muscles pull in to lift your leg. And 8. And that is really important to know that muscles work correctly in different ways to what you might know yet. 14, so paying attention. 15, 16, and 17. Notice how these ones feel because you're going to balance it to the other side. So these muscles pull in the pelvis and hold your pelvis level when you walk. They're that important. Okay, so now let's go to the other side. So we've got your left knee on the block. And these are just absolutely essential for lower back, hip, knee, and ankle. Okay, and lift the right leg. Now, it's really important that you don't twist this leg, though, that you're lifting. That you don't start to do anything funny with it. You just lift it really purely. That's the whole point. Okay, so these are inside thigh muscles. 10, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, engage your glutes. 11, 12, 13, 14. Notice how these feel. Is it easier or harder? 15, 16, and 17. Open your foot. 19, 20. And feel that big toe. Okay. The big toe now, like you had in the strap, like pushing into the strap. Go again. Because that's how you actually access your inner thighs and your inner quad and your inner hamstring, even the pelvic floor on that side, and your psoas connection. It's that important, the big toe, the ball of the big toe. 10, 11, 12, so we're just doing 2 sets of 20, 14, 15, 16. These are just so important to balancing out your hips. 20. So then you're going to keep that foot flexed. Make sure your legs aren't forward, okay? Because sometimes then the hip flexors on the first part, the anterior part of your glute med has to fire. So we don't want that. You guys are already dominant there. So lengthen your ankle and you're going to lift the left leg to the side of the hip, knee and ankle pointing forward and not rolling back off your hip. 6, 7, spread your toes, reach your big toe. 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, engage your mula bandha, and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's really important that your hip, your knee, and your foot point forward. Okay, that this works. Again, 2, 3, open your shoulders. 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right, inside and outside hip. So we've got one more, which would be the back of your hip. So when you lift your leg off the floor, your right leg, example, you're extending the front of your hip, your thighs and hip flexors, and your glute mass is the primary mover, and obviously your hamstrings follow. Okay, so we're balancing out the glutes, which sit at the back of your pelvis. Hip bones down, tuck your tail, knees point down, lift your right leg, and 2, and 3, reach your big toe, hip stays down, and 6, keep your left glutes on as the standing leg, 9, and 10, 11, relax your shoulders, 13, lift your ball up under, 15, and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, left side, and 1, 2, keep your right glutes on, 4, so 5, 6, and hip staying down, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, and 15, 16, 17, knee points down, foot points down, and 20. Okay, so those 3 hip exercises are gold. And come up to your hands and knees, tuck your toes, relax your elbows and point your fingers toward your knees. So it is really important that you know those exercises. You won't need to go to treatment should you know those exercises. And when you have a niggle in your hip, your knee, and your foot, you go to those exercises. Again, I've had to discover this throughout my dancing career. You get ankle stuff all the time, knee stuff, people dropping you, and impact as well. So yeah, balance out your pelvis is like absolutely godsend to be able to know how to do that. Okay, we're going to do a downward dog. So hands, you can use your block if you're a lady, and you've got a block about this size with a thumb and index finger around the corners. Crown of the head forward, sit bones point back, and then you're going to lift your sit bones up and back from there. Don't try and keep your heels down yet. The first thing you need to do is to get your spine long. See my spine? It's in one long line, okay? And so after you have your spine in one long line, you can then put energy into your heels moving down. So open your shoulders, then wrap the shoulder blades down and forward. Okay, from there you're going to step your right leg forward into a pigeon pose with your left hip pointing down. Put down the top of your left foot and lift your left knee off the floor. Rotating this right leg out. Okay, like we did earlier on your back, you're pressing your knee forward. So your left glutes are engaged, and we're stretching your right piriformis and glutes. And we're stretching your left psoas and hip flexors. So again, this is very, very important stretch for your sciatic nerve in your lower back. Lower your knee. Let's go the other way. Left foot, left leg in front, and your right hip pointing down. Top of the foot down. Right glutes engaged, open your shoulders, pressing your left heel across. So you feel this a bit more because we've actually been working your glutes and other abductors right now. So right glutes on to open up right psoas. Lower your knee. Come on around to sitting. Crossing your legs, flexing your feet, or putting your right foot on top of your left knee. This is the double pigeon. We just did the single pigeon. Okay, and then we're going to use your hand to gently lower the knee, and that's the same feeling as you have in your knee when you just did that single pigeon of, without your hand there, your knee just turning outward in the socket. And that's very important, this outward rotation, especially for a cyclist, because you don't do it. Your knees are the point up or slightly in, don't they? So if your knees don't ever move through this range, your muscles won't, your groups of muscles actually rotate your hips out. So just by doing this, so you just need to do this to rotate to get better posture in your lower back, your hip, your knee, and your ankle. Roll your hip bones forwards now, which is the same feeling as pressing your bottom behind you. Keep your Muller bundle engaged from the tail to the navel. And bring your pelvis down to stand up, to come up, I should say. Other side, left leg in front, on top. Using your left hand to help you feel as that left knee going down, and what it is rotating out more in the joint. Okay, so you get a lot of relief. I mean, you won't feel relief just yet, but you'll find later like freedom, and again that freedom of pulling, muscles that are too tight, contracting nerves, pressing on nerves. So what do I mean by that? Roll your hips forwards. Well, for example, right now we're really digging into your piriformis, which is the muscles that right side, left side that basically attach your leg bone to your pelvis. And because you sit on it, cycling, and then you push resistance, you go really fast, you're exercising that a lot. And it gets very tight. And it gets tight, say if you're a sprinter, you're just squeezing your glutes all the time. Or like me, jumping a lot, dancing. It gets tight, it needs to be stretched. If it gets too tight, it compresses your sciatic nerve because your sciatic nerve runs through this muscle. So then, if that gets too tight and pinches on the nerve, then you can get like this radiating pain down your leg, things turning, other muscles turning off, can cause back pain, but all you've got is a tight bum, okay? And you just need to learn to stretch. Come on up. That's not always the case for lower back pain, but it is one cause. Right leg forward, sit up on your block if you can't sit up with a straight back. Left foot on the other side of the knee. Taking your left hand behind your back, pressing down your sit bones and rotating to the left. So, as a cyclist, you don't rotate your spine, and this is something just for a healthy spine that you need to be able to do is rotation. So all you have to do is do an upper back twist. You're doing it today. Look forward. Other side. Right foot on the other side of your left knee. Right hand behind your back. Open your shoulders first. Press down your sit bones. Breathing out. Rotating to the right. This also releases your piriformis, by the way, in relation to your shoulder girdle. And looking forward. Okay, now we're going to place the soles of your feet together. Pressing down your sit bones, rotating your thighs out. Okay, outward rotation. Making them the same. One's a lot higher, you need to lower that one first. The other both the same. Okay, bring your knees together. Come and place your right foot forward, your left leg back into a lunge. Now you're going to roll your hips backwards, hips down and under. Engaging your glutes, pressing down your right foot with your knee on top of your ankle, your second toe pointing forward. Lower your knee, keeping your hips coming down and under. Keep your toes tucked for the moment. Rolling those hips down and under. Psoas and other hip flexors on the left psoas and hip flexors. Okay, back to downward dog. Open your shoulders, wrapping your shoulder blades down and forward, and step your left leg forward into a lunge. Hips coming down and under. And Left knee onto the right foot. Lowering your knee. And down and under with your pelvis. Glutes together. Open your shoulders. Because your psoas has an insertion on the diaphragm. Diaphragm's up here, affected by the shoulders that sit above. And back to downward dog. So this has been a simple program. It's not everything you need to do, but it is a lot, and you will feel a lot better after doing this. Okay. So learning everything just over time, and you'll feel as well that there are certain things, certain postures and stretches that show you that for you just become really critical, that for you to do them, for you to feel good, and for you to bounce back and be able to use that foot or that hip properly again the next day, or to go to your maximum when you want to run as fast as you can, or push your heel as fast as you can. So, thanks very much. I'll see you next week.